Do you want to get out of the mess? Feel financially free? Okay, stay here. We'll break this down together. Seriously, I know exactly how you feel. That feeling that no matter what you do, money just slips through your fingers like water. The months dragging on, the bills piling up, and you're wondering if it's ever going to change. I admit, I've been there. Yes, I too have had those moments where I look at my bank account and wonder, how do I get out of this? And believe me, I've made mistakes. Lots of mistakes. Impulsive choices, unnecessary purchases, and even attempts to get rich quick that ended in failure. Honestly, I wasn't ready the first time I discovered the real secrets to turning things around. But here's the thing, there is a method, a clear path. And it's not just for other people, the lucky ones, or the financial geniuses. No, it's for you, for me. For anyone who's tired of going around in circles and really wants to take control of their financial life. In this video, I'm going to give you 10 concrete steps to transform your mindset, your habits, and your bank account. Yes, you heard me right. No unnecessary blah blah, no crazy promises. Just a clear, human, real-life guide so you can go from poor to rich. We're going to laugh a little too, because admittedly, some of my early attempts were ridiculous. But you know what? Every mistake, every moment of doubt is part of the process. So grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let me show you how to change your life. And just between you and me, if you actually apply what I'm about to share, it might just be the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where the struggle is a thing of the past, and financial freedom becomes possible, not in 10 years, but maybe sooner than you think. Step 1. Change your mindset. If your brain thinks you're poor, you'll stay poor. Honestly, this may seem obvious, but this is where many people go wrong from the start. We often think that money is just a matter of luck or a degree or connections. And yet, the real starting point is your mindset, that filter through which you look at the world. If you keep telling yourself, I'll never make it, I'm bad with money, guess what? You keep reproducing those limitations over and over again. Hey, that reminds me of a friend. He grew up in a family where money was always a taboo subject. His parents told him, "We're not lucky with money. That's just the way it is." For years, he believed that financial success was reserved for others. And then one day, he started to change his inner dialogue. Just a small step. Telling himself every morning in front of the mirror, I deserve abundance. I'm capable of generating income and making my money grow. The crazy thing? In less than 2 years, he launched a small business that brings in more money than his old job. All because he has first believed it was possible. So how do you actually do this? Start by observing your thoughts. Note the negative phrases you repeat to yourself and transform them. For example, I never have any money becomes, every day, I discover new opportunities to improve my financial situation. You can even add powerful affirmations in the morning or visualize your ideal life. Imagine yourself with the financial freedom you want. Feel the emotions. Visualize the details. The more your brain sees this reality, the more it will try to achieve it. Then create some morning routine that nourish this mindset. A few minutes of inspiring reading, writing down your financial goals, meditating on gratitude for what you already have. All of this changes your brain chemistry. Little by little, you no longer react to money the same way you used to. You move from a mentality of lack to a mentality of abundance. And let me tell you something. It's normal if it seems strange at first. Your brain will resist. It will say to itself, "But wait, I thought that was impossible." And then, boom. That's precisely the sign that you're making progress. Every positive thought, Every little action that nourishes your state of mind is a giant step towards wealth. So, before even thinking about your first euro, start by training your brain. Because once your mind is ready, the rest follows, almost naturally. And trust me, it's far more powerful than any financial trick or miracle plan. Step 2. Understand your money. Okay, now that we've prepped your brain, it's time to face reality. Understanding your money isn't just about knowing how much you have in your account at the end of the month. No. It's know exactly how much you earn, how much you spend, and where every penny goes. And trust me, it changes everything. Because as long as you're flying blind, you're stuck. I swear, I used to think budget was just a fancy word for serious people. You know, the ones who wear suits and talk about financial planning. I just live day to day and hope for the best. Spoiler. It rarely does. Bills come, surprise expenses come, and you're left wondering where your money went. So how do you take back control? Start simple. Note everything. Yes. Everything. Every coffee, every grocery shop, every subscription you forgot about. Put it all on paper or on an app. Once you have the figures in front of you, look at them carefully. What are your essential expenses? What are the ones you enjoy but could wait? And above all, how much can you save every month? Even $10 is a start. Next, look at your debts. Yes, debts aren't glamorous, but they're crucial. List them, prioritize them, and start paying them off intelligently. One small step at a time, but consistently. Because a debt left unattended is like a pebble in your shoe. It hurts, but you get used to it, until one day you stumble. And finally, think about simple investments. There's no need to jump into the stock market or real estate right away. Start with what you understand and what you can manage. Even a small savings account that earns a little or a micro investment each month can make a difference in the long run. The key idea: stop running away from your finances. Watch them, learn them, understand them. Every euro you master becomes a tool to build your wealth. And believe me, the feeling of knowing exactly where your money is going, it's liberating. You move from a state of survival to a state of control, and that's where the magic begins. Step 3. Define your financial goals. Now that we have a little more control over our money, it's time to know where we are going. Because without a clear direction, you can pedal your whole life in the void and never move forward. Yes, I'm talking about defining your financial goals, and not just wanting more money. No, we're going to make it concrete, achievable, and even motivating. Start by distinguishing short term and long term. The short term is what you can achieve in the next 3 to 12 months. Save a certain amount, pay off a small debt, start a small business. The long term is your vision for 3 to 5 years or more. Buy a property, create a profitable business, achieve financial freedom, precise figures, not vague ideas. A technique that I love: the SMART goals. That means specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. For example, instead of saying, "I want to be rich," you write, "I want to save $5,000 in 12 months to launch my online business." Honestly, it's motivating to see your numbers on paper, and it makes all the difference between dreaming and taking action. Another super powerful technique: the vision board. Yes, it may sound a little girly or too Instagrammable, but trust me. Seeing images of the life you want plastered on a wall imprints your brain. You visualize your future every day, and your mind starts looking for opportunities that match that vision. Quick tip: write down your goals, reread them every morning, and adjust if necessary. But most importantly, feel them Really imagine yourself in the situation you desire. The thrill, the freedom, the pride. It gives you the energy to act every day. And let me tell you something. Setting your goals isn't just an office exercise. It's a statement to yourself. I have a plan. I know where I'm going, and I'm going to do everything I can to get there. And trust me, once you have your goals clear, the rest of the steps become much easier to follow. Because every financial decision you make then has a specific goal. Step 4. Develop new skills. Well, now we come to a crucial step. Your skills determine your income. Seriously, the more you know, the more you are worth. And I'm not talking about collecting dusty diplomas. I'm talking about practical skills which actually make you money and make you independent. You see, in this world, those who succeed financially aren't necessarily smarter than everyone else. They just learned what no one ever taught them in school. Concrete skills, knowing how to sell, understanding digital, investing intelligently, freelancing. The possibilities are endless. Even learning Excel can earn you more than you think. Yes, I swear. A well-designed spreadsheet, a little automation, and hey presto, an opportunity arrives. Here's a little anecdote. A friend of mine had zero business ideas, but he started learning digital marketing online just to educate himself. 3 months later, he landed his first freelance clients. 6 months later, he doubled his previous salary, all because he invested in a skill, not in a lottery or a miracle plan. So how do we actually do this? First, identify the skills that have a real impact on your income. Then train yourself, practice, experiment. Even 30 minutes a day can make a huge difference over a few months. And above all, apply what you learn immediately. There's no point knowing if you don't act. Quick tip, vary your sources. Books, online courses, mentors, videos. But above all, put it into practice right away. Because knowledge alone does not create wealth, action does. And let me tell you, investing in yourself is the best investment you can make. It never depreciates. Every skill you develop brings you closer to financial freedom. So don't procrastinate. Start today, even with a small step. You'll see. The results will follow, sometimes faster than you imagine. Step 5. Create multiple income streams. Okay, now we get to the heart of the matter. If you really want to go from poor to rich, you need to understand a simple principle. Never depend on a single salary. Yes, your main job is important, but it's dangerous to put all your eggs in one basket. Financial freedom comes from diversification, not just savings. I'll give you a concrete example. I started with 50 euro. Yes, 50 euros, nothing else. I used this money to launch a small online side business. A few months later, I had earned a little more than my salary. Then I invested in micro-investments, tried freelancing, and little by little I built multiple income streams. Today, I can tell you, I no longer depend on a single salary. And believe me, it's life-changing. So, how do you actually do it? Start by identifying an additional source of income adapted to your skills and your time-side business. Freelancing, online sales, coaching, content creation. There are 1,000 possibilities. Even if it's small at first, it counts. Every additional income, no matter how small, increases your financial power and protects you from the unexpected. Then think about passive income. Yes, it takes work up front, but then it keeps paying off, even when you sleep. A monetized blog, a YouTube channel, ebooks, simple investments. Every stream becomes a security and an opportunity. Little tip, start small, but start now. You don't need to wait until you have 1,000 balance or 5,000 balance to get started. Even a micro project puts you in the I create my opportunities mentality. And believe me, it's this mentality that separates those who stay stuck from those who move forward quickly. So imagine, your main salary continues, but alongside it, you have several small streams that grow each month. The pressure eases, confidence increases, and your bank account finally starts to breathe. Yes, it takes time, patience, and a little boldness. But it's possible. And that's exactly how you go from poor to rich. Step 6. Eliminate debt and bad financial habits. Well, now we come to a crucial point. Debts and bad financial habits. Because you can have a good salary, multiple sources of income, and even incredible skills. If you have debts dragging you down, you will never really move forward. Honestly, debt is like a pebble in your shoe. It's impossible to move forward comfortably. You walk, you force yourself, you try, but it hurts. It slows you down, and you end up wondering if it's worth it. Every euro you owe is a weight on your future. And bad habits, impulse purchases, forgotten subscriptions, coffee every morning without thinking. It seems small, but added up, it really slows you down. So how do we fix this? First, identify and list all your debts. Not just the big ones, but the small ones too. Then make our payment plan. Some prefer the avalanche method, starting with the debt with the highest interest rate. Others prefer the snowball method, starting with the smallest to motivate themselves with quick wins. Choose the one that works for you and stay disciplined. Next, stop impulse buying. Yes, I know, it's hard. That new gadget, that sale, that coffee you have every morning. But if you really want to move forward, you have to set clear priorities. Every euro spent must have a specific purpose. And keep in mind your ultimate goal: financial freedom. Little practical tip: automate your payments and savings. This way, you don't even have to think about it every month. It just happens. And it keeps you from falling back into old habits. And trust me, once you start getting rid of those pebbles in your shoe, you'll feel an incredible lightness. Every debt paid off, every habit corrected, is a giant step toward your financial freedom. And that step, it's essential. Because without discipline and without priority, even the best multiple income plan can fail. So tackle your debt head on, make a plan, and commit to changing your habits. Yes, it takes discipline. But the relief, the freedom, and the opportunity to truly move forward, it's well worth it. Step 7. Invest smartly. Okay. Now that we've talked about debt and habits, it's time to tackle a topic that scares many people: investment. And I can reassure you straight away, you don't need to be a Wall Street expert or a numbers genius to get started. No. Investing is, above all, a question of patience, strategy, and common sense. Imagine, you plant a seed today. You don't see much at first, just a little green sprout poking out of the soil. But if you water it and take care of it months later, you'll harvest a tree with fruit. That's exactly what investing is. You put your money in, let it work for you, and over time, it grows. So where to start? You have several options. SOTCK exchange, for example, which may seem intimidating, but where you can invest little by little in solid companies or index funds. Cryptocurrency, which is riskier, but which can pay off if you know what you're getting into. And if you don't put all your savings into it, obviously. Real estate, which requires more capital upfront, but remains one of the best ways to build lasting wealth. And even more accessible solutions like savings books, life insurance, or the micro-investment platforms. The secret is to start small, even 20 pounds, 50 pounds, £100 a month. And that's already something. The important thing is consistency. Because investing isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. You don't get rich overnight, but you build brick by brick. I'll tell you honestly, the first time I invested, I was lost. I didn't understand much. I was afraid of losing. But over time, I learned. And today, I thank the me version of the past for having dared. Because it was thanks to this small step that I began to reap results. One last piece of advice. Educate yourself before investing your money. Don't blindly copy what your neighbor is doing or what you see on TikTok. Read, watch videos, experiment with small amounts. Investing is like driving a car. At first, you're afraid of crashing. Then you gain confidence, and it becomes second nature. So remember this. Every euro invested wisely is a seed you plant for your future. And the earlier you start, the better the harvest will be. Step 8. Develop a powerful network. You know what? We often underestimate the value of a meeting. Yet, your network can be worth more than your degree, your resume, or even your startup money. Yes, really. Because just one person can change your financial destiny. I still remember the first time I met an investor interested in my project. It wasn't in a fancy office, nor at a big official event. No, it was in a simple coffee shop. I was sitting, talking with a friend about my ideas, and someone at the next table pricked up their ears. 2 minutes later, he introduced himself, gave me his card, and a few weeks later, he became my very first investor. Just like that. Pause. Breathe this idea. Your next big opportunity could come from a simple conversation. Networking isn't just about shaking hands at conferences with a fixed smile. No. It's about being curious, open, and generous. It's about taking the time to understand others, to ask questions, to listen to their stories. Because everyone you meet knows someone who could open a door for you. Surround yourself with mentors, people who have already walked the path you want to take. They'll give you shortcuts and prevent you from making the same mistakes. Also, look for collaborators. Sometimes, an idea that's been dormant in your head just needs a motivated partner to become a reality. And above all, give before receiving, offer your help, share your skills, bring value. Sincere relationships are born from exchange, not pure self-interest. Because deep down, we always remember the one who helped us without expecting anything in return. Today, look around you. Who might inspire you, teach you, or give you a new perspective? Maybe a colleague, maybe a stranger in a coffee shop, maybe even someone watching this video at the same time as you. So remember this, your network is your accelerator. You can work hard alone, but surrounded by the right people. You move forward 10 times faster. Step 9. Cultivate discipline and perseverance. We all dream of a shortcut to wealth. But let me be honest with you. The real formula is patience, purpose, repeated action. That's the key. It's not a lucky break in the lottery. It's not a magical idea that falls from the sky. No. It's discipline. Every day. Even when it's boring. I'm not going to lie, I've failed more than once. I've lost money on a project that seemed too good to be true. Spoiler, it was. I've had moments where I wanted to give up. And you know what? Yes, it hurts when you fail. But that's normal. It's the price of the ticket to get in the game. Think of it like exercise. You don't get muscular by going to the gym once. It's repetition, constant effort, even when you don't feel like it. Wealth is the same. Managing your budget, investing regularly, learning, starting over after a failure, it builds your future. Little step by little step. The hardest part isn't getting started, it's keeping going. Because everyone has that initial enthusiasm. But staying the course when results aren't immediate is what separates successful people from the rest. Any advice? Establish routines. Automate your savings, plan your spending, and train yourself weekly. Even when motivation fades, your discipline takes over. Because motivation is a spark, but discipline is the engine. So yes, you will stumble. You will sometimes say to yourself, oh, but why am I getting tired? But remember, every repeated action brings you closer to freedom. And one day, you'll look back and realize that all those little decisions created one big victory. Wealth isn't earned in a sprint. It's a marathon. And guess what? As long as you keep moving forward, even slowly, you're already winning. Step 10. Stay humble and give back. You know, there's a trap in financial success. Believing that everything is just for you. More money, more comfort, more power. But deep down, true wealth isn't just about accumulating. It's about sharing. Because if your success only changes your life, it's incomplete. Look around you. The most respected people are not necessarily the richest, but those who have used their wealth to help, inspire, and transmit. Giving back doesn't mean giving everything away. It can be as simple as sharing your experience, opening a door for someone, or reaching out. Personally, I understood one thing. Wealth equals freedom plus responsibility. The freedom to choose your life, but also the responsibility to not hold it all back selfishly. When you help your family, breathe financially. When you fund a project that uplifts your community, or when you take an hour to coach someone, you create an impact that goes far beyond your bank account. I remember a simple moment. A young entrepreneur once told me that 5 minutes of conversation with me had changed his outlook. And then I thought, there you go. That's wealth. Because by giving, you multiply. The money you share, the energy you transmit, the advice you offer, it all comes back, one way or another. And then, staying humble is vital. Because pride is destructive. If you start believing that your success is solely yours and yours alone, you lose the essential. You forget the help you received, the sacrifices of others, and even the element of luck. Whereas humility keeps you aligned. You see, it's not just about the money. It's about the person you become along the way. True success is when you can look around you and see that your prosperity has brought smiles, hope, and new opportunities. And that, believe me, is worth a lot more than any number in your bank account. So, here we are. We've just gone through these 10 steps together, like a little journey towards a new version of you. We talked about changing your mindset, learning to manage your money, creating multiple sources of income, daring to take the plunge, investing wisely, building a network, maintaining discipline, staying patient, and finally, staying humble by giving back. That's a lot, huh? But really, each step is a seed, and if you plant them, you will reap. But wait, the most important thing isn't whether you listen to or watch this video. The most important thing is what you do next. Because, let's be honest, how many times do we listen to advice, get motivated, and then nothing changes? We turn off the screen, and life goes on as before. And that's the biggest trap. So today, make a promise to yourself. Not a huge one. No need to revolutionize your life overnight. But just take one small action. One. Maybe start a budget. Write down your first goal, read a book, put aside 10 euros, whatever. The important thing is to move from dream to action. And yes, there will be times when you feel like giving up. When you'll think, why am I bothering with all this? That's normal. The difference between those who succeed and those who stagnate isn't luck. It's consistency. Those who move forward despite the hard knocks, despite the doubts. You know what? Imagine yourself in 5 years. If you implement even half of these steps, your life will be nothing like it is today. You'll thank yourself for starting today. Because, and this is the secret, wealth doesn't start with money. It starts with a decision. So, ready to transform your life? Because real change starts now. Not tomorrow, not in a month. Now. And if you want to continue this journey with me, subscribe, share this video with someone who needs it, and above all, don't forget, your best version is already waiting for you. You just have to go get it.